Let's go into the next topic. Mike, we're going to the next topic. Has the Dow peaked at the 50,000 mark? Hit 50,000, then, receded back a little bit. So has the Dow peaked?
Will Pam Bondi be fired anytime soon? First off.
Question for a question.
That's talking about an egregious.
That's what we should be talking about.
So Eric Holder posted?
What did he say?
He's like, "Don't you miss me now?" And then he posted a screenshot of him and then her next to him, and then he put the Kumo D the Kumo D song.
How you like me now?
Yeah,
bro.
He's like, miss me yet?
Whew.
I do. It was even good seeing Obama at the All-Star game.
That was nice.
That was nice.
Yeah.
No, I don't think that we've peaked. I think we're just in an interesting part of. So in the investing regime, right? There are a couple of things that the market doesn't like. Number one is always uncertainty. Like you can feel that there's something off in the market, but everyone has not revealed why. Amazon is under pressure. There's been a slight pullback there. Apple was down 8% last week. Amazon 5.4, Meta 3.2, Nvidia dropped 1.4. But no one's giving you all of the information. Kind of like how it was in the 2019. The market had hit a high. It was starting to pull back, and then COVID was announced in March. We're just waiting to see why. But as far as the Dow, I think the Dow has done a great job of the way that they weight those companies to make sure that it's fine. And it's given less risk in comparison to NASDAQ, if you will. Do I see us hitting 49,120 possibly? But I think, no, we haven't hit the peak of the Dow at all. I don't think we're even close.
Yeah, I don't think so. When you look at the Dow, you look at the companies inside of it, Dow's led by industrials, financials, energy, healthcare. When we talk about the sectors that we think are going to
matter,
that perform well in environments like this, especially in the world of health tech, which is going to be huge. We know energy is in demand, and that's going to expand.
Yeah.
We talked about financials in terms of regulation and what that's going to look like. We haven't seen much yet, but I mean, we're still in February. And then industrials, we've talked about the build out that is going to be needed here in America. All those things are what leads the Dow, and I think that the spend, the capex on those things are going to increase. Right? We kind of just like talk about it and brush it over, but when Amazon says they're going to spend $100 billion or $200 billion, and Google says they're going to spend 185, and Microsoft said they're actually going to spend that somewhere. Like that capital has to go to something when they're saying this, they're going to spend it, and it's probably going to go inside of energy. Yeah, probably inside of industrials, and obviously in technology. And so that spend is still going to be there. Healthcare, I mean. We haven't figured out our system. Yeah, I mean, our population is aging. Obviously, that's going to be a sector that is always going to be a part of it. So, yeah, I think all of the things that lead the Dow have the promise of having pretty solid years. So I think it was like, one of those psychological numbers that you hit and you're like, oh, we made it, right? When we got to 30,000 is a celebration. 40,000, we got to 50,000. Let's see the support and resistance around this. I think we go past it, though. I mean, he said we're going to 100?
I mean, we know we have to go past it. It's just a matter of when. I mean, it's not like we're going to never. Look, we're going to go to 100. 100%. It's just a matter of when. So, it's 100% going to go past it.
Of course, yeah. It just says has it peaked. I don't think it's peaked.
Oh. No. If anything, the Dow probably for the American indexes is the safest index of all based on weighting. So no, I wouldn't.
You take it over the S&P?
Because of the weighting. Let's draw down. Prompt. Act as a world-class investor. If we hit global triage in the market, how far would the Dow drop from peak to trough? How far would the S&P drop peak to trough? And same for NASDAQ.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do your homework. Yeah.
Oh, that was good information too, as far as what Alicia Little gave it at the mastermind about prompting, like
cooked.
how to really prompt. Like you can really use artificial intelligence to become your mentor
Mhm.
and to help you out with so much stuff in life. I feel like if you're not using it to have somebody that's going to give you a high level of information and a valued opinion based on, information that you're feeding it, you're using it the wrong way. If you're just using it just as a search engine,
Yeah.
um, you're not using it correctly if you're not using it as a high level mentor. To everybody that said they don't have mentorship, that you
You
have
better
it.
go to ChatGPT or Claude.
Phone a friend
For real. Should be your number one brainstorming partner. Yep.
every day.
That's a
Yeah.
fact.
Kudos to her
Enter
for an
prompt.
amazing presentation.
You can enter any type of prompt you want. What's the top 10 investments in your opinion that has the highest rate of return possibility with
Mhm.
limited drawdown for the next 10-year period? And it'll say Nvidia,
You'll be
TSM,
surprised. Yep.
Microsoft, whatever. Then you say, okay, well, out of those 10, what's the risk? What's the reward? If you were personally putting $100,000 into a portfolio, how would you allocate it? I mean, ultimately, you still got to make the decision, but you talk to it enough, and it's going to give you a very detailed, educated
Absolutely.
answer. Like me personally, I don't invest in any company that's not in the top 10 because
Smart move.
there's no benefit in it. The number one rule in life is not to lose money.
Big facts. Hello. That takes care of 80% of 90% of your journey.
Top 10 market cap?
Yeah.
That's
And-
tricky.
I'm just saying.
Because
I
if
mean,
you're being
yeah,
conservative,
conservative.
and it matters more if you put in large. And that's the other conversation
Right.
we don't have enough. If you're deploying between 200 to 2 million, man, it sucks to have a 15%, 12% drawdown.
100%.
Mhm.
And it's like the number one rule is not to lose money.
Not to
So
lose money.
you got to go with proven winners, especially like you said, Ian, if you put in large sums
I
of
mean,
lump
3 million at a time.
or long, like you can't.
Well, here's my only feedback though, because you can miss out on growth, right?
For
So
sure.
like Lilly is not a top 10 market cap, but you would invest in that for sure.
Absolutely.
Micron right now in the portfolio, not in the top 10, but has the potential to be in the top 20 for sure in the next maybe 2 to 3 years. Could get to the top 10. We'll see.
True.
It's a
Yeah.
long climb there. But no, that doesn't surprise me. Like you saying that doesn't surprise me. But there's also those peaks where you could, hey, this could climb out of the top 10, right?
Yeah,
like Tesla could have a pullback, and now it's not in the top 10. We've seen Apple fluctuate.
Eli Lilly's actually number 10.
Well, it just got
Recently.
there.
Yeah,
Recently.
recently.
Yeah, but I'm
But
saying it had to get there. You know what I mean?
It had to get there,
Yeah.
but I look at it like my strategy is a lot of the companies that's not in the top 10, I'll do trades on. I'll do options trades on those companies.
Oh, you're saying like you having shares?
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
he was talking
okay,
share.
okay,
But
okay,
even in
okay.
that, you have to, if
Gotcha.
they're not top 10, you have to figure out the allocation. So either
Got you.
5%, 10%, or 15% max.
Yes.
And then ride them. That's why also hold them for 5 to 7 years. You'll be able to get 500 or 700% out of a tech company, even if they were middle of the pack, 20 to 55, due to economic shifts in the environment. If you hold for 2 years, the return not going to be as good. It's not going to be as good.
And to the brother that said, well, what exactly have I lied about? out of curiosity. That said, I have a habit of lying sometimes. Just out of curiosity, what have I lied about?
Like I've never seen. Like, how can you say that about somebody's portfolio? It's not there.
And that's the crazy part. You can post all the proof in the world, and they still think you lying. Also, too, for my traders and investors, keep your IP off of the non-enterprise. Shout out to Alicia, the non-enterprise version, or go to the cold version of GPT, because your proprietary information will end up on the interwebs, and you're gonna be upset. So be mindful.
That's
Be
a
mindful.
fact.
Yeah, but let him know what he's lying on, so we can.
I'm not even mad. I'm just
that.
saying you're saying that I have a habit of lying. So out of curiosity, what did I lie about?
Yeah, that's if it's just shares, right? Then that changes it. And I'm not. I'll be honest. I'm not. I mean, I have shares of AMD, which is not a top 10, but my conviction on that story makes a lot of sense. But that's just me.
And also, too, it's another conversation. if they're 1 or 2 in the category. So when I was really big
Yeah.
on Nvidia, when I saw the shift coming because I was buying them when I was having my computer built. You can see what was to come. Now, of course, you wouldn't know that they would take over and be the fucking center of the AI space,
Right.
but you knew that they were dominant in their space and they were 1 or 2. So that will lead you to have some more conviction to put up to 20%. But it's all the percentages of, like, even in a good trade, you have to know when, like, if it's not a perfect setup, you can only put 5% of your trading capital into this trade if you're at let's say a secondary or tertiary EMA versus it's at an April price, and now you can go heavy and put 40% of your portfolio into it. So it's all a mathematics game.
It, it's the story. I gotta keep saying it because it is.
Story and
Even if
price.
you think back to to GPUs, even data centers, really, right? If we want to talk about data centers, if you look at the origin of data centers, where does that come from? What is that a derivative of? Right? In 2011 and 2012, when people were trying to mine this new technology that was going to be shake up the financial world, they were building these centers so they can mine Bitcoin, right? The data centers that we used to talk about were just for that purpose. When we realized how much energy they took and what they can do inside of it, now you look at a lot of those data centers, some of them are mining, but they looked at the technology and said, wait, we need to use those racks. We need to use some of that technology now for this purpose. And so when NVIDIA, which is already leading in gaming, can now help process that rack and become the brain of that rack, it makes sense, right? But we've seen this, right? Like we used to like, where are they putting these factories that they're mining Bitcoin? Because we used to think, maybe we can do this in our house. Can we mine Bitcoin in our house? Right? That used to be the talk. And we're like, I don't think so. I think we need like more power. And so you start investigating, and you're like, wait, they're putting these things in the middle of the country. And where are they putting data centers right now? In the middle. It's the same story. Same story. They're just, the parts have changed a bit, the function has changed a bit, and the use case for what we're using inside of the infrastructure, we're going to need more, obviously, and more power. That has changed, but the story has been the same.
Yeah. And I think it's important for everybody to have their own strategy. Like I said, for me personally, I look at it like 3 accounts. It's a retirement account, it's my regular long-term hold account, and then it's options.
Your
My
trading
long-term
account.
hold, my long-term hold account, yeah, I'm putting substantially more money into companies that's in the top 10. My trading account, I'm putting less money, less is relative, but less money into. So I'm willing to take more risk with trading. Like I'm going to trade different options on companies. That's just me. That doesn't mean that that's right or wrong, but I'm just saying for me personally, right? Like it takes a long time. It takes a long time to get rich.
Yep, and you can't blow it.
It takes a short time to blow it. Now, if you don't remember anything I ever told you in life, remember that, because that's a fact.
Facts.
He said less is relevant. Very important.
That's a fact.
It's true.
It takes a long time to get rich, but it takes a relatively short time to blow everything.
So I said you can't do all 3 out of your swing trading account should be, even for futures traders, your swing trading account should be different from your intraday. Your intraday should be different from your micro, different from your retirement. If you're doing options, those have to be separate buckets because you don't want contagion all in one portfolio. You cannot risk it. And it's too hard to get up and recover all those losses and be rich again if you lose it.
Yeah. And you can, that's another thing that we should talk about probably is like when you're hedging, right? So I talked about those 2 companies earlier. And I'm like, all right, well, if they're number 1 and number 2, who has the lead? Who's the more dominant? All right, well, we're going to put a little bit more into this position than we are into this one. We'll still invest in both. It's like NVIDIA and AMD, right? If you look at my portfolio, far more exposure to NVIDIA, but there is exposure to AMD, right? Allocation for both, but this horse looks like it's going to take off and lead. We're going with this one. We still have some representation over here, just not as much. But that could change, and we got to change allocation.
And then also, if you look at it from a standpoint, because somebody could say, okay, well, if you start a company, then 18 months you become a millionaire. Well, that's relatively a short period of time. That's one way to look at it, but I have to look at it as a long time because it took you 40 years to get to that point. Everything in your life prepares you for the moment that you're at. So even if it looks like quick success, or you started something and it was a year, you're 35 years old, but I don't look at it as it took 18 months. I look at it like it took 35 years.
The whole life, and lost relationships and sleepless nights and insomnia.
That's the average age of somebody getting their first million. I think it's 37. Like 30.
And that's new because it used to be like 54.
Yeah.
12, 13 years ago. Yep.
And for my son's account, I'm conservative too. I don't really have too much.
Yeah.
I don't really have too many. I got very high. Yeah. High win probability stocks. Not a lot of risk in that for his portfolio.
Yeah.
That was a question I saw somebody in the chat ask as well.
Darcy, I don't have Rigetti in the portfolio. I said if I was going to invest in a quantum stock, it would be that. Quantum stock, it would be that. I didn't though. Yeah, it's just not time. I said it's not time. It's not time. There's too much other things that are happening and more opportunities that it's not time.